Once upon a time, in a distant land, there lived a most extraordinary man.
Where are we going?
To the moon.
With his faithful companions, he traveled afar, meeting creatures, some beautiful.
Hello.
Others bizarre. And they found themselves in the strangest of places, where kingdoms had queens with detachable faces.
Oh, yeah!
They bravely fought battles and monsters without fear, scoundrels and scalawags.
We're all extremely large and strong here.
So get yourself ready for a tale that's outrageous.
I'm Baron Munchausen. That sounds nasty. Is it contagious?
John Neville
This is miraculous.
and Eric Idle
Here we go.
in Terry Gilliam's spectacular fantasy,
I shall treasure it always.
The Adventures of Baron Munchausen, tonight on Cinemax.
The following movie is rated PG.
Oh, I'm a comedy expert. I'm a stand-up comedian. You probably didn't recognize me because I'm sitting down. Get it? I love comedy. Been watching CineMania for 10 years now. Speaking of 10... Hey, I come from a big family. 10 kids, that is. One of each sex. I went for a job. The boss says it'll pay $10 a week. I said, $10 a week? I'm insulted. He said, okay, I'll pay you every other week. This way you won't be insulted quite so often. 10 years of comedy. Makes that an anniversary. Speaking of anniversaries, I've been married for 10 years. Seems like only yesterday. And you know what a lousy day yesterday was? But seriously, folks, Cinemax CineMania. 10 years of the funniest things I've ever seen. Except me.
Cinemax. 10 years of more movies, more choice, more CineMania. Cinemax.
More movies, more choice. Next on Cinemax, weekend war games spark a battle of the sexes when George Segal and Sally Kellerman learn that all's fair. Next.
Once upon a time, in a distant land, there lived a most extraordinary man.
Where are we going?
To the moon.
With his faithful companions, he traveled afar, meeting creatures, some beautiful,
Hello.
others bizarre. And they found themselves in the strangest of places, where kingdoms had queens with detachable faces.
Oh, yeah!
They bravely fought battles and monsters without fear, scoundrels and scalawags.
We're all extremely large and strong here.
So get yourself ready for a tale that's outrageous.
I'm Baron Munchausen. That sounds nasty. Is it contagious?
John Neville
This is miraculous.
and Eric Idle
Here we go.
in Terry Gilliam's spectacular fantasy,
I shall treasure it always.
The Adventures of Baron Munchausen, tonight on Cinemax.
Fasten your seatbelts, hold on to your hats. July on Cinemax is action-packed with comic book heroes, The Dark Side.
I like bats.
What are you?
I'm Batman.
Holy nightmare. It looks bad, Batman. This brassy bird has us buffaloed.
You're a plant, aren't you?
A shadow shall fall over the universe, and evil will grow in its path.
This has gone just about far enough.
5 fab flicks, plus an insider's look at a slice of pop history. Cinemax in July. More movies, more choice. More comic book heroes, the dark side.
The stakes are high. The women are beautiful. And Bond is back. Only this time, he's not following orders.
Effective immediately. Your license to kill is revoked.
We're not going to believe who this guy is.
Former British agent.
007's got a personal score to settle in License to Kill. Premieres Saturday, July 7th on Cinemax.
Welcome to the set of Gremlins 2. Director Joe Dante has brought original Gremlins stars Zach Galligan and Phoebe Cates to New York City and put them to work in a massive, high-tech skyscraper, along with a real estate tycoon and his management team, a mad scientist, a monster movie host, and a few familiar faces. When filming began, the mood on the set was quite optimistic.
It's great to be working in New York right now.
What could be better than shooting in New York?
I'm just surprised about the good attitude everyone has, you know, including the Gremlins.
The Gremlins are feeling fine. They're very happy. They haven't worked in 5 years.
So I think they're pretty excited to be working again.
And that excitement was shared by all.
You know, we're just 100% upbeat right now.
But right now did not last long. The mood took a sudden turn as we moved indoors to cover Christopher Lee's big scene with original Gremlin star Gizmo.
Sorry. Gizmo doesn't want you guys on the set.
Abruptly kicked off the set, we soon discovered that ours was not an isolated incident.
Can't believe it. Kicked off the set by the Gremlins. You guys still here?
The early optimism was gone. Gremlins 2 was now a different set.
Can I tell you something? Can I talk about this? It's turned into a disaster, a nightmare.
The picture's fallen into the hands of the Gremlins.
I think they know that can't make the movie without them, and they're getting very independent.
And they're just not very cooperative. I mean, in all the time that we've spent between the two pictures, they've developed their own ideas of the way things should be.
Did this include giving Gizmo the authority to kick people off the set?
He was just putting on his prima donna act, and he just didn't want anybody on a set. So what am I going to do? He's the star. I mean...
You know, they think they're stars, and they can't be controlled.
At times, they're extremely demanding. At times, I mean, you know, you get Gizmo saying, well, I'm tired, I've had enough for the day, and that's it. No more research, no more work, no more filming.
Our next visit found evidence of this. Production had come to a standstill because Gizmo and friends had called for taxis and were off joyriding around the city.
They don't want to work. They're never on time. In a way, they're the worst of what actors are.
Every time an actor has a take in this movie, you do it like 3 or 4 times. If it's a Gremlins scene, you shoot it 20 times, 25 times.
I mean, it's just these little heads started getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
They said, Zach, the title of this movie is Gremlins. Get it? Gremlins.
They've just completely... I mean, I no longer have a trailer.
Despite these problems, production continued.
Hey, the Gremlins want you video guys out of here, now.
Without us. Able to observe only from afar, we decided to go to the source of the problem, who we located as he was upgrading his accommodations. But we found Gizmo hard to believe as paranoia engulfed the set.
Maybe I shouldn't be talking about this. Has anybody else talked about this?
I've had strange notes in my dressing room saying, do not do this interview.
They really think...
Oh, I don't know if I can really talk about this.
I got a phone call the other night, and this weird voice is on the line.
And that's a kind of psychological thing that I never thought that they could be capable of.
And Joe can't really do anything about it. He seems, well, frazzled, quite frankly.
It's the old saw or saying, give him an inch and he'll take a mile.
Here's your coffee, sir.
I don't know. I can't wait till this picture's over.
You know, we've been in the production now for several months, and I would say that the Gremlins are really starting to wear people down.
With morale at an all-time low, how much worse could things get?
We got Gremlins taking over the building, and I don't have time to play around, all right?
They're taking over the whole joint. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, we're in a little frenzy now.
Frenzy was an understatement.
No, I can't talk anymore, sorry.
Inside, we found the building in total ruins. With the actors distraught and now the sets destroyed, it seemed likely that the film would never make it to the big screen. But not everyone had given up.
Somebody's got to put their foot down and be boss, and I told them, I said, look, this is my picture. You're the actors, I'm the director, and when it comes right down to it, you don't get to come into the editing room. I edit it myself.
More movies, more choice. Next on Cinemax, weekend war games spark a battle of the sexes when George Segal and Sally Kellerman learn that all's fair. Next.
Who met who first, or who fell in love with who first. All I can remember is the seven of us always together.
Quick, what's the meaning of life?
It's true love, my friend.
Yeah, I'll tell you he wants to get married.
4 years ago, the day he met you.
You miss school, don't you?
You know, school is pretty out of hand.
You break my heart. Then again, you break everyone's heart. Oh, stop it!
I love her, man.
Give me your hand!
I always thought we'd be friends forever.
Yeah, well, rubber got a lot shorter suddenly, didn't it?
Best friends, trying to hold it together in the real world.
We're all going through this. It's our time on the edge.
The love, the anger, the confusion, but most of all, the friendship of St. Elmo's Fire.
You're not gonna believe how out of hand it's gonna be.
No more pencils, no more books, no more teachers' dirty looks. Whoa! Just more summer fun. Every day in July with Cinemax CineMania.
Rockets, red glare, bombs bursting in air.
And we'll have ice cream and ride the Ferris wheel and giggle at more movies. It's Mom and Dad. More choice. Not that kind. More CineMania.
I just know you're going to love it.
Yeah, it's neat stuff like The Fortune.
Out cold.
Hey, I'm supposed to say that. Real genius.
Oh, ha, ha, ha. I had this fantastic dream.
Dream a little dream. All's fair.
Where's the baby elephant?
And Dumbo. 1941. Whoa. Oops, time for bed. See you in July on Cinemax CineMania. Hi, Robin. She's my best friend.
Sit on my lap, you cutie.
Eclectic, horrific, artistic. VanGuard Cinema in July.